Good morning and welcome back. You know, it's the first Thursday of the month. That means our longtime financial advisor and resident economic expert, Kurt Pearson, is joining us.
Thanks for joining us, Kurt. So today, we're talking about recapping the economy and markets for the first quarter of 2006. Now, when people hear the news about the financial markets having the best quarter in several years, how do they use that information for their own?
Well, there's a tendency for people to believe, hey, that financial news doesn't really apply to me. But the statistics are quite impressive. About 79% of Americans have some amount of money in a retirement plan. Well, if that money's in a retirement plan, it's got to be invested somewhere, and chances are, well, about 75% of Americans own either individual stock or mutual funds. And so it's very important for people to realize that what happens in the financial markets, they need to kind of process for their own situations and see exactly how that applies to how their own money is doing in terms of performance, returns, and volatility.
Okay, so energy and telecom were the best performing sectors in the first quarter. Does that mean that we should be allocating money toward those two?
Well, that's a very good question, because investors typically have this habit, all of us have it a little bit, of chasing returns. And the asset allocation groups that did really well in the previous quarter may not be the place to go because the run may be over. And so it's very important for people to put some time and thought into their allocation objectives and their investment objectives. You know, what percentage should we have in large cap, small cap, mid cap? What percentage should we have in bonds and cash? And then not deviate from those percentages unless something major happens in their situation. So people need to weigh very carefully this issue of chasing returns. People will be getting their 401k statements probably within the week, and they'll see some hot funds inside their 401ks. I really caution people not to chase those returns, but to think about the bigger picture. And maybe it's time to put some money in an asset class that's been beaten up a little bit, because that may be your best opportunity.
Would that be your best advice for the average investor?
Yes, absolutely. Take a look at your own percentages. You know, what percentage do you have in certain asset classes? Is there an asset class that you've ignored or that you're underweighted in? And how do we beef up that asset class? Because that may be the asset class that will really take off.
Okay, and always we like to tell people, if you're just getting started, you know, you want to invest, you're not sure how to go about it. I mean, that's why they can come to you and you can kind of set them down even for us novices, right?
Yeah, it's very good for people to have a relationship. So if you haven't had that appointment with your financial advisor for a while, get that set up, take a look at the first quarter results and your own performance, and evaluate if things are going the way you want.
Sounds good, Kurt.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Kurt. We appreciate it. Now, if people want to get in touch with you, how do they do so?
My local number is 327-1020.
All right, Kurt Pearson.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kurt.